Joy, Hannah whispered again, a bit louder, as if savoring the word. She pointed at Aisha. Joy at her parents. Joy at herself. Joy. Cory collapsed into Takeshi's arms, sobbing. 8 years of silence shattered by one perfect word. The security cameras recorded it all, but nothing could have prepared Takeshi Yamamoto for what he saw on the screen. His 8-year-old daughter, Hannah, who had never uttered a word in her life, sat on the back steps of their Tokyo mansion, near the recycling bins. Beside her was a black woman in a worn maid's uniform, someone who shouldn't have been on their property. Takeshi's finger hovered over the alarm that would summon security in moments. But then he saw something that stopped him cold. Hannah was smiling, not the practiced smile she gave therapists, nor the faint one she offered her mother to ease her worry. This was pure, radiant joy, spreading across her face like a sunrise over Mount Fuji. Takeshi replayed the footage to confirm it. Hannah's lips moved, not randomly, not like the countless times specialists had hoped. She was forming a word. One perfect, impossible word. The woman hadn't touched her, hadn't coerced her, hadn't used any of the techniques the $500 per hour experts had tried. She'd just been sitting there, sharing her onigiri, talking to Hannah like she was any other child. Cory, Takeshi's wife, stood behind him, hand over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Did our baby just speak? Takeshi whispered, his voice breaking. After 8 years of silence, she spoke to a stranger, a maid sorting through their trash. To understand how this happened, we must go back to where it all began. 3 months earlier, Takeshi stood in Hannah's therapy room, watching another specialist pack up in defeat. Dr. Sato, Japan's top childhood speech pathologist, couldn't hide her frustration. Mr. Yamamoto, I've tested everything. Hannah's vocal cords are perfect. Her hearing is exceptional. Brain scans show normal speech activity. There's no medical reason she can't speak, then why doesn't she? Takeshi's voice carried 8 years of exhaustion. Sometimes, Dr. Sato said, children choose silence, consciously or not. Hannah has chosen it, and I don't know why. That evening, Takeshi found Cory in Hannah's room, reading a bedtime story to their silent daughter. Hannah's dark eyes followed every word, her small hands signing responses in the intricate sign language she'd mastered. She understood everything, communicating through writing, signing, and a tablet app. But her voice, the one thing her parents longed to hear, remained locked away. Sometimes I wonder if she's punishing us, Cory whispered after Hannah fell asleep. For what? We've given her everything, maybe that's the issue, Cory replied. Maybe we've given her everything except what she truly needs. The next morning began like any other. Hannah woke at 6:30 a.m., dressed in the outfit her stylist had chosen, ate her organic breakfast prepared by their private chef, and started homeschooling with Ms. Tanaka. She completed every assignment flawlessly, her written answers revealing a mind far beyond her years. But no sound escaped her lips. Takeshi watched from his office, his heart breaking daily. His daughter was a shadow in her own life, present, but not fully there. Then came a crash from the mansion's back entrance. Their waste was handled by a private service at 3 a.m., ensuring the Yamamotos never dealt with it. But that Wednesday morning, someone was rummaging through their bins. Takeshi grabbed his phone to call security, then paused. Through the window, he saw the intruder, a black woman, perhaps in her late 20s, carefully sorting their recycling. She was thin, her maid's uniform faded but clean, her braided hair neat despite her circumstances. She handled each item with care, as if even trash deserved respect, humming a soulful tune Takeshi didn't recognize. Security can handle this, Takeshi muttered, reaching for his phone again. But then Hannah appeared in the backyard. His heart stopped. Hannah never went outside alone, she was supposed to be in her calligraphy lesson. Yet there she was, watching the woman with an expression Takeshi had never seen, curiosity. The woman looked up, saw Hannah, and smiled, a warm, genuine smile. Hey there, little one, she said softly. Didn't mean to make a racket. Just collecting recyclables, saving the world one can at a time. Hannah tilted her head, studying her. I'm Aisha, the woman continued, as if one-sided conversations were normal. What's your name? Hannah said nothing, but instead of awkwardness, Aisha nodded. That's fine. You don't need to talk. My grandma said I talk enough for a whole village. Takashi watched, stunned, as Hannah sat on the steps, observing Aisha work. Aisha kept talking, about the neighborhood, her childhood in a faraway place, her little brother staying with relatives. You know what I love about bottles? Aisha held up a green one to the light. They sing, she blew across the top, creating a low, haunting note. Every bottle's got its own voice. This one's deep, like a shamisen. The clear ones? They're koto notes. Hannah's eyes widened, sparkling with interest Takashi hadn't seen in years. Want to try? Aisha offered a small bottle. Hannah glanced at the house, then took it, mimicking Aisha's blow, her cheeks puffing out comically. Aisha laughed, not mocking, but delighted. That's the spirit. You're a natural bottle musician. Takashi had hired performers, artists, and experts to engage Hannah. All failed. But this maid, with nothing but bottles and kindness, had sparked something new. For 20 minutes, Takashi watched. Aisha never asked why Hannah didn't speak, never showed pity. She treated her like a normal kid. When Aisha stood to leave, dragging her bag of recyclables, Hannah did something unprecedented. She waved enthusiastically, her whole arm moving, begging Aisha to return. Same time next Wednesday? Aisha asked. Prime recycling day, Hannah nodded, her black hair bouncing. But then Ms. Tanaka appeared, her face stern. Hannah, you're meant to be in lessons. And you, she glared at Aisha, are trespassing. I'm calling the police. No, Takashi shouted, rushing outside. It's fine. She's allowed. Ms. Tanaka looked appalled. Mr. Yamamoto, I'm leaving, Aisha said quietly, shouldering her bag. Sorry for the trouble, sir. Hannah's face fell. She grabbed Takashi's hand, pointing at Aisha, her eyes pleading. Wednesday, Takashi said. Come back Wednesday. Aisha's smile lit up the yard. See you then, little one. As Aisha left, Hannah went to her tablet and typed one word, showing it to Takashi, friend. Wednesday came, and Hannah was at the back door at dawn, a row of bottles she'd saved lined up on the steps. When Aisha saw them, her face glowed. You saved these for me? That's beautiful, little one. How about we split the profit, partners? Hannah's eyes widened. No one had ever called her a partner. She was always the patient, the puzzle. They sorted bottles together, Aisha chatting about glassmaking, recycling, and odd things she'd found. Found a whole calligraphy set once, she said. Still worked. Now I know my kanji. Hannah nodded eagerly when Aisha mentioned her favorite constellation, Orion. He's a hunter, always chasing. But I think he's just looking for a place to rest. Cory watched from the kitchen, then brought out a tray of sushi and tea, trying to seem casual. You must be hungry, she offered. Aisha eyed the delicate nigiri with polite confusion. Thank you, ma'am, but I'm okay, please, Cory insisted, her voice trembling. They sat on the porch, an odd trio, the billionaire's wife in her kimono, the maid in her worn uniform, and the silent girl between them. She likes you, Cory said cautiously. Hannah's special, Aisha replied. She listens better than anyone, but she doesn't, she can't talk. Aisha shrugged. My grandma said the wisest folks say the least. When Hannah's ready, she'll speak wisdom that'll shake the world. Hannah leaned against Aisha, a trust she'd never shown anyone else. Cory whispered, how do you do it? We've tried everything, specialists from Kyoto, therapies, even kodo lessons, maybe that's the problem, Aisha said gently. You're trying to fix her, but she's not broken. She's just careful. My grandma said some folks are like cherry blossoms, they only bloom when they feel safe. Over the next weeks, Aisha became a fixture. Takeshi's security team vetted her, a Nigerian immigrant, parents gone, living in a tiny apartment, cleaning houses to support her brother. No record, good references. We should hire her, Takeshi told Kaori. As Hana's companion, she won't take charity, Kaori noted. Aisha had a quiet pride their wealth couldn't touch. Then it's a real job, Takeshi said. Part-time, after her shifts. But then came the sirens at 1 a.m., their lights flashing across Hana's room. She stood at her window, tears streaming down her silent face. They're taking Aisha, Kaori whispered, her voice breaking. Outside, Aisha was in handcuffs, her face bruised, being led to a police car. She spotted Hana and smiled, mouthing, "It's okay, little one." Hana's mouth opened in a silent scream, her body shaking. Takeshi was already on the phone with his lawyer. What did she do? Kaori asked. She didn't, Takeshi said. She was protecting her brother from some thugs. She's 28, they're minors. Their parents are pressing charges. Hana stood, typing furiously on her tablet, "Save her. She saved me first." Then she threw the tablet, her first act of defiance, and forced out a raw, primal cry, the first sound in 8 years. Takeshi spent the night calling lawyers. By morning, Aisha was released on bail he'd paid. But she refused to return. "I can't bring my mess to your home," she told Takeshi at the station. "Hana doesn't need this, Hana needs you," Takeshi said. "She made a sound last night. When she saw you taken, she tried to scream." Aisha's eyes filled with tears. Her voice came from pain. "That's not right, come back," Takeshi urged. "Show her speaking doesn't have to come from fear." When Aisha entered the mansion's front door, Hana ran to her, wrapping her arms around her waist. Aisha knelt, her bruised face gentle. "Hey, little one. I'm okay. Just a few scratches, makes me look tough, right?" Hana touched Aisha's bruised cheek, questioning. "Had to protect my brother," Aisha explained. "Like I'd protect you. That's what friends do." Hana led Aisha to the kodo in the living room, untouched despite years of lessons. She pointed at it, then Aisha. "You want me to play?" "I don't know how," Aisha said. Hana patted the seat beside her, placed Aisha's fingers on the strings, and plucked a simple melody. She looked at Aisha expectantly. "You want me to learn?" Hana nodded, guiding her. It took Aisha 20 minutes, but when she played it right, Hana added her own harmony. They made music together, the silent girl and the maid, creating something beautiful. Kaori recorded it, crying. In 8 years, no therapist had thought to let Hana teach. Over 2 weeks, while Aisha's case lingered, she came daily. Hana taught her kodo, Aisha taught her bottle music. They built a language of gestures and shared smiles. The breakthrough came one Wednesday afternoon. Aisha spoke of her mother. "She'd sing to me when I was scared, an old song about joy after sorrow. When she passed, I thought joy was gone. But you know. She was right. Joy came back." Hana pointed to herself, signing me too. "I know," Aisha said. "You're quiet because you feel so much. Words make it small, but you want the big feelings." Hana handed Aisha a drawing of 2 figures holding hands, one tall and dark, one small and pale, with the word friend written repeatedly. "Oh, Hana," Aisha's voice broke. "Always friends." Hana took a breath. Takeshi and Kaori, watching, held theirs. "Joy," Hana whispered, so soft it was almost a dream. Aisha smiled. "Me too." Then Hana said it again, louder, pointing at Aisha, her parents, herself. Joy, Kori collapsed into Takashi's arms, sobbing. 8 years of silence broken. But then Takashi's phone rang. His lawyer said the boys' families were suing Aisha for assault. If they won, she'd face jail. No, Hana shouted, her voice raw but fierce. No. No. Aisha good. Aisha friend. Help. Daddy, please, her words tumbled out, each one a victory. Takashi saw not the silent doll they'd tried to fix, but a warrior fighting for her friend. We'll help her, he promised. The next morning, Hana insisted on going to court. She'd never faced crowds, but she marched in, holding Aisha's and Takashi's hands. When the judge asked Aisha to explain, Hana stood. I speak, she said, her voice rough but clear. The courtroom hushed. Aisha teach me. See me. Not broken. Just Hana, she handed her tablet to the judge, who read, Your Honor, Aisha saved her brother, like she saved me. Not from bullies, but from silence. She showed me it was safe to try. Please don't take her. She's teaching me to be brave. The judge asked, How long were you silent? 8 years, Hana replied. And you speak now for Aisha? Hana nodded, then said, Family. The judge reviewed the evidence, but Hana's words tipped the scale. Ms. Aisha Okoye acted to protect her minor brother. Her age doesn't negate that right. Case dismissed. Hana threw herself into Aisha's arms, laughing, a rusty but real sound. Thank you, she whispered. No, little one, Aisha said. Thank you. Outside, Takashi made an offer. Aisha, come live with us. Not charity, a job as Hana's companion, but also, be family. You and your brother, Aisha hesitated. Hana, she said, her voice stronger, stay. Need you, Kori added, you gave us our daughter. Let us give you a home. Aisha looked at Hana, thought of her brother in a cramped apartment. Not charity, she said. Family, Takashi confirmed. 6 months later, the mansion was alive. Aisha's brother, Jamal, and Hana were inseparable, teaching each other games. Aisha finished her nursing degree with Takashi's support, her future bright. Hana didn't speak often, but her words carried weight. She started a vlog about selective mutism, writing, I was never broken. I was waiting for someone who saw silence as a choice, not a cage. Aisha saw me, not my condition. That's love. At Hana's 9th birthday, a small gathering of family, she blew out her candles. What's your wish? Takashi asked. This, Hana said, looking at Aisha cutting cake, Jamal laughing, Kaori and Takashi holding hands. Family bigger than blood, Kaori cried happy tears. When did you get so wise? Hana pointed at Aisha. Good teacher, Aisha raised her tea. To Hana, who taught me the best conversations don't need words, to Aisha, Takashi said, who showed us wealth is what you share, to love, Hana said. Always finds way. A year later, at Aisha's graduation, Hana gave a surprise speech. I'm Hana Yamamoto. For 8 years, I was silent. People thought I was broken. My parents spent millions to fix me. But I was waiting for someone to hear me without words. Aisha Okoye did. She saw a silent girl and saw a friend. She taught me voices come in koto strings, bottle notes, and the quiet where understanding lives. The crowd stood for 5 minutes. That night, Hana told Aisha, my first word, joy, wasn't my first. At 3, I said, yay, when mom was pregnant. But she lost the baby, and I thought my word caused her pain. So I stopped. Until you made me feel safe to try again. Aisha hugged her. Your words are love, Hana. They'll never hurt. 5 years later, Dr. Hana Yamamoto, now 14 and a prodigy, helped Aisha run a non-profit for children with selective mutism. At its launch, Hana spoke, People ask why I spoke after 8 years. Aisha saw me, not my father's wealth, not a problem. She saw me. When you're truly seen, your voice becomes a celebration. The gala raised over $2 million. Takashi whispered to Cory, did we save Aisha, or she us? Both, Cory said. That's family. At the gala's end, a mother approached Aisha about her silent son. Aisha knelt, pulling out a bottle. Want to make music, little man? Hannah joined them. Hi, she said to the boy. I didn't talk for 8 years. Aisha taught me it's okay. Words are one voice. We'll find your others first, the mother cried. Will he speak again? When he has something too big for silence, Hannah said. Love always finds a voice. 10 years after meeting by the bins, Dr. Hannah Yamamoto accepted an award for her mutism research. This is for Aisha Okoye, she said. She taught me therapy isn't about forcing normal, it's about valuing people as they are. Aisha, now 38, married with 2 kids who called Hannah Aunt Hannah, beamed. Aisha was a maid society overlooked. But she saw a silent girl and saw a friend. She didn't do the unthinkable. She did the simple, accepted me. Every Wednesday, Hannah and Aisha meet at the Yamamoto Okoye Foundation's headquarters, the old mansion. They sort recyclables on those steps, not for need, but to remember treasure comes from unexpected places. Remember when you couldn't speak? Aisha asks. Remember when you had no home? Hannah replies. We saved each other, they say together. A billionaire's daughter and a black maid, worlds apart, found family in silence. They proved love doesn't need words, just someone to listen. And when a maid treats a rich girl as human, miracles happen, not fairy tales, but real ones, where silence becomes a bridge, and love always finds a way to speak.